Hi guys, I'm Jade and today I wanted to do the 50 random facts about me tag video so that you can all get to know me a little bit better. So my little cousin Rosie pointed out that I've done quite a few videos now and haven't done any kind of like introduction or anything for you guys to get to know me. So I thought it would be good to do this video to tell you a bit more about myself. So 50 facts is a lot of facts. It was really hard like trying to come up with these, so if some of them are boring I'm really sorry, and I've got them written down in my unicorn notepad. So let's get started. I've always been really tall for my age, and when I was younger I used to dance, and in the dance shows it looked like I got held back 1 or 2 years because I was so much taller than all the other kids, and I'm currently 5'10". I am a huge Harry Potter fan and genuinely thought I was going to go to Hogwarts, so when I didn't get my letter from Hogwarts I was really upset. I think I may have cried. I spent my weekends volunteering at an animal rescue centre with my best friend and her twin sister. My granddad used to keep pet chickens that I absolutely loved, and when I first started school someone told me that chicken nuggets were the same as like baby chicks and chickens, and that's when I decided to go vegetarian. And I went vegan when I was 21 years old, so I've now been vegan for 1.5 years and I have never felt better. Okay, so this one's kind of embarrassing, don't judge me, I was very young. So when I was in primary school my best friend was a boy, and once he came over to play and I decided that I wanted to try and be like him. So I tried to pee standing up and it did not go very well. Went all over the floor and he had to go and get my mum and tell her what I'd done. Well done, Jade. I get majorly, and we're talking majorly, addicted to TV series and just binge watch them. I get absolutely obsessed. Like in my last year at uni for my final exams, I think I watched all seasons of The Mentalist within like 2 weeks, and that was my revision period too, so that's pretty bad, but it's a good show, like a really good show, you should watch it. On a similar kind of topic, when I was about 14 years old, me and my best friend Alfia were addicted to One Tree Hill, and we had a sleepover with some of our other friends, which meant we missed one episode, so we set our alarms for like, I think it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning so that we could wake up, watch One Tree Hill. I don't think we spoke because we were so tired, we just watched it and then went back to sleep. That was before the days of like Netflix and watching things on repeat. When I started secondary school, so year 7, I got a flicked bob. So it was about this long and it just like went in and flicked up, and I thought it looked really cool at the time, but I think in the long term it scarred me and I've never had my hair cut short since. My all-time favourite place to go is the beach. It's just my happy place. I love it when I'm at the beach. I just feel so good and happy and love the beach. My mum is one of my best friends and I just talk to her like I would talk to any of my other friends, and I'm so grateful for that. I have never tried smoking or had a cigarette in my entire life, and I never will. When I was younger I always wanted to be a pop star and just like a famous singer, but I actually have a degree in accounting from the University of Exeter and I'm not really sure how that happened. When I was still at school I got a job as a waitress for a catering company, and once I was catering a big party, I think it might have been a wedding reception even, and during the speeches I was carrying like a big tray of champagne, and I'm a very clumsy person. That should be a fact on its own because I'm very clumsy. Like if there's something to break and there's something to spill, I will. So back to this one. So yeah, me plus a big tray of champagne, not a good combo, but I was carrying it along and it was in the middle of the speeches and I bent down to try and offer this lady a glass of champagne, and instead I spilt it all over her and I felt really dreadful, but she was so nice about it, and luckily she lived near so she could go home to get changed and I didn't get fired, which I thought was pretty nice of them. My all-time favourite meal is afternoon tea. I don't really know if that's a meal, but it's my favourite. I just love it. And the weird thing is I don't really like sandwiches, but when they're in that like tiny little afternoon tea size, I love it. I always start my day with a big green smoothie. This one is also kind of embarrassing. So I passed my driving test first try, but before that it took me 3 times to pass my theory test. There was a period of time where I just thought this was never going to happen and I was really considering giving up. As I love the beach so much, one of my all-time favourite things to do on holiday is to go on a boat trip. Like anything that takes you out to the ocean, I just love it. My favourite colour is green. I have 4 dogs. My ultimate dream life for when I'm all grown up in the future is to live maybe in the middle of the countryside or by a beach with like a ton of rescued animals and just make it like a little animal sanctuary where people can come and like see the animals and see how lovely they are and, you know, why we shouldn't eat them. I used to be in a band when I was a teenager and it was called The Band With No Name because we couldn't think of a name for our band. And in the band I was a singer and I can also play the guitar and a bit of the piano. That made it sound like I can only play part of the piano and can play all the keys but I can't play it very well. I think that's what I meant to say. I can speak conversational French and I would love to live in France so I could become fluent. I would say I eat out at restaurants about 2 or 3 times a week. I absolutely love the TV show Friends and I think I've watched every episode multiple times and can pretty much narrate all of them along with the characters. Paris is my favourite city in the world. When I was younger, I was obsessed with Britney Spears and particularly the song Lucky, and I once had a karaoke party, I'm pretty sure purely just so I could perform Lucky, and it was a great party. I am 22 years old. My favourite time of year is Halloween, which I know sounds a bit weird, but I love Halloween. Like ever since I was little, we've always made a huge deal of it in my house. Like my mum has thrown me a party and we've just decorated everywhere with like cobwebs and stuff, like go all out. So I just think it's a really fun time of year. Legally Blonde is my favourite film and I just find it so happy and uplifting. I'm a real family girl and one of my favourite things to do is just hang out with my mum and my dogs and all of my extended family, which is really big, and I have loads of cousins and I just love spending time with them. I absolutely love to-do lists and make multiple lists every single day. I have a really strange phobia of cotton wool, which I know sounds really weird, but to me it's like, you know how some people hate when people like scratch their fingers on a chalkboard? That is what cotton wool does to me. Like just talking about it now is making me feel sick. I actually never learnt to cook until I was 21 years old, which is when I went vegan and I kind of had to learn to cook. So on the theme of bad cooking, once when I was younger, probably about 13 or 14 years old, and my mum went out for the night and I was in with my friends and she said, Jade, I bought you some jacket potatoes, you just need to put them in the oven and then like heat up some beans and we're ready to go. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks mum. So I go into the fridge and I'm looking for these potatoes and I find 2 like new potatoes, or a bag of new potatoes, and I was like, oh okay, well things expand in the oven, so this must be what jacket potatoes do. So I put these 2 new potatoes in the oven for me and my friend and put them on for like an hour and a half or however long you do jacket potatoes for, and then I went back to check on them and they'd just fallen through and exploded in the bottom of the oven, and to my dismay they had not expanded. I now have a recipe blog. You guys should check that out. Paprika is like my all-time favourite spice and I will add it to anything and everything. Despite my obsessive list taking and to-do listing suggesting that maybe I'm organised, I'm not. I'm a really disorganised person and I am a massive hoarder. Like I just hang on to things that I don't need like at all in any way, shape or form, and I just can't let them go. I'm always like, what if I need that in like, you know, 10 years time? You won't need it, Jade, throw it away. I am an only child, but when I was younger I had an imaginary friend called Henry, and he was ginger and he had blue dungarees and he used to come absolutely everywhere with us. I am an extremely unflexible person. Like my little cousin Rosie tries to teach me flexible things all the time, like the splits and, you know, cartwheels and things, and it's pretty painful. I am not good at them. I am weirdly good at laser quests. Like I always win in those kind of games. I think I've got quite good aim. When I was younger I used to put plasters on all of my toys, so my mum thought I was going to be a vet when I was older, but turns out I just used to like putting plasters on my toys. Another embarrassing story about my childhood. I feel like I was quite a weird child. But, so at primary school, me and my friends used to think that we were witches, hence the whole Harry Potter thing. And we used to think that we could move the grass with our eyes. Turns out it was the wind. So those are my random facts about me. I hope you enjoyed them and are still going to watch my videos and don't think I'm too much of a weirdo. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.